It's like you're telling your mind what to do. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger says that
Yeah.
I'm 70x plus,
Yeah.
but I'm not that age. That's not my age. I'm younger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna train. Don't tell me not to train, because the minute I don't have a purpose to do something is the
Yeah.
day I actually die. But I'm still living, so let me do my thing.
I
by
think
60.
a lot of people are programmed from young to have a programmed life. I think we're all designed to be programmed.
How do we deprogram that?
Selective individuals. And I just think it's about how you grow up, what you see, what you don't see, who you surround. Your surroundings, everything.
Okay, I've grown up with high-tech trainers. Yeah, sharing my dad's clothes.
Yeah.
Working in a corner shop, getting bullied, broken noses, whatever's gone on in East London.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that drive in me. Yeah, I can make it, and I didn't make it. You know, got to £10 million. My kids are now waking up, and they're waking up in a 3 million house, nice little silk robe.
Yeah.
How do you instill that in that person?
I just think it's about discipline. Everything's about discipline. It's like being a boxer. If you don't train, you don't win. It's in life. If you don't work, there's no money.
How do you discipline them children, like not being cruel, to be kind, sort of thing, but still give them challenges and tasks?
There's some challenges in life, whether you got money or not. I know some guys that are the 10th and 11th richest in the country. They still go through tribulations. They still have problems with their family. Nothing doesn't change. And this is the point I'm saying. Money doesn't take away your problem. If your health is bad, what happens? You die. If you've got no money, what happens? You lose. If you don't have happiness, you're sad. So when does it end? When does it end? You just got to find that medium yourself. And I think sometimes for you to try and teach somebody, okay, we've got all this money, great. We've got a big mansion, great. Somewhere down the line, they're going to have a problem that you can't solve and money can't buy. Death, sickness, can't stop it. There's no entrepreneur, millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire that will tell you he's never ever failed, but he's gone from A to Z and nothing's gone wrong. You have ups and downs, but it's how you deal with ups and downs. But when you come from a background where you're fighting day to day to pay bills and the basics, you're already winning just getting through that. Not everyone has that. Some people have a great, fantastic life. Their mum and dad's got money. They've helped them out. They don't see that. But what happens with that is, fast forward 5 years, you could have 5 million in the bank, lose it all, you turn to drugs, alcohol. There's things that can go wrong, but they're not shown that because they're kept in that survival thing from their parents, where the parents won't let them to go outside of the comfort zone, because that's when things are real. But when the parents ain't about and they've got the money and they mix, that's a very important thing. When people mix with different worlds, a lot of things come out. Emotions, people drink, they talk, they open up. All of a sudden you're in a deep conversation. Then you're hearing someone else of what someone else has said and someone else said. You take it in, he's like, wow, hits you for 6. It's like some people with money want to be famous. Why would you want to be famous when you're already set in life? For what? There's no point in that. But they do, because they want the attention. But then flip, the people that haven't got the money want the wealth and become famous. But some want the money for freedom. I believe in freedom bit, because that's all money does. It gives you freedom. It doesn't buy you happiness. I'll give you £10 million now. Bang, there you go. Take that. Are you more happy? You might think you are. But the same demons and the same things you're fighting against your whole entire life will not go until you deal with one by one by one by one. And that's something that I've learned. And that's my advice to everyone is, you need to know who you are, focus on yourself, deal with anything that's in, like any niggles that are in the background before you step forward. Because otherwise you can become a millionaire overnight. You can have an online brand and just absolutely blow, but you're not dealt with the demons. And because having a demon that catches you and they don't let go, then you lose it, then now you're in trouble. Or you're giving it from wealth. And somewhere down the line, something will happen. It will, because life tests you in different ways. I can give you all the money in the world, and you can phone me next week and say, Dan, it's gone wrong. What do you mean it's gone wrong? I gave you everything. But it's not. A lot of people just want basics, which is happiness. But you need a channel of freedom. And freedom, unfortunately, is money in any country. Listen, I'm not perfect. We've all made mistakes in life. But what I've learned is there's only one road for that. It's prison or death. There's no happy ending. You never see a gangster that's had a happy ending, never been shot, stabbed, prison, how many times, institutionalized, lost families, lost his best mates. He's got a bundle of cash, but how long is it going to last for? Year, 2 years, 10 years, 5 years. The end of it, what makes me laugh is everyone watches gangster films and they get gassed. They're like, yeah, that's it. I'm going to make some mad pee. I'm going to do this. But they don't show what the end result is. You either die or you're in prison for life. To me, both of them is death. Me, I like to float about nice restaurants and, do nice things. I'm not sitting anywhere for any amount of time, and I'm not dying anytime soon. Yeah. So I grew up in the era of everyone saying, let's get rich or die trying. I ain't trying to die anywhere. I'm trying to get my money and get out of here. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say, John? I'm not trying to swim. So I've always looked at myself, if I was an animal, I'd be an eagle. Do you know why? Cool. I'll tell you why. What do eagles do?
Fly high.
But where? Who with?
Alone.
And do you know what that means? You're a leader. I grew up with a lot of followers. They'll see that guy, I want to be like him. I want to be like them. But what do you want to do? Yeah? So the point that I'm making is from young, I knew where I wanted to be, what I want to do, and that's my focus. Tunnel vision. It's a rare breed. There isn't many eagles flying about, but there's a lot. Everyone's on the floor. They want to take, and they come across as a entitlement. That was a powerful word. It's difficult when you grow amongst people, then you be the eagle. You fly about on your own and find your own way, but they're still doing what they're doing. But because you're there doing that, and they see that, they feel entitled. I'll be honest with you, I never had a childhood. I went from being a man from age 8, 9 years old, and then I was told at 14 I'm having a kid, so I didn't really get to play in the playground. I played football, I was good. I got picked for England for basketball, I was great. My first question was wages. I've not got time to play basketball. I've not got time to have 6 weeks on boot camp. If you're not paying me the wages or getting my family out where I need to be, that time there is, you're not paying for my time. I can't do that. So I lost out on a lot of things that were opportunities. And then I had a kid from young.
Was that the right attitude?
At the time, I thought it was. If I would have stuck to what was really supposed to go on, I'd probably be. I could have been a footballer. I don't know about the basketball bit because I'm a bit too short. Whenever I go out, I'm the shortest man in the room. But that doesn't stop me from still trying to tap the board. Listen, I have to shut it down in basketball, but it is what it is, man. So obviously, being told I'm having a kid at that age, and then having my first business when I was 16.
How did that come about? So you said you've had a paper round, and what did you spend that money on?
I was trying to save it. Tried to, and then I bought some clippers. I started cutting hair, doing friends and family. Then I had a full house. Then my mum was moaning all the time. And then I had a shop from a teenager. I had the first shop. Then I had several more shops. Then I got into other things because
How did that all come about, though? How did you put them deals together?
So basically, at the time, I'll just walk past shops and just say, "Are you renting a shop?" 9 times out of 10, it was like, you're too young. But then I met someone through someone who's in my family, and it opened the door.
How old was you at this stage?
About 15, 16.
And how did you found out you was going to be a father? She was a young girl as well.
Yeah.
And how did that affect things?
Interesting question. I just dealt with it. Had the baby, turned up at my mum's house with a baby. There's no question or anything because I was quite wild as a child. But just turned up with a baby and said, "Yeah, this is your grandson." She was cool. I was cool. Just cracked on. There wasn't no sort of no one really told me anything because I was a boss from young. So it was like, what I do kind of goes sort of thing. But obviously now I look back and think, wow, no one even said, "Are you all right? How'd you feel?" Or even now, this is why that question kind of thrown me off. I don't really get asked questions like that. "Are you all right?" I just get thrown things at me and I deal with it because I turn them. Some people get negatives and it just completely throws them off and they go off the rails. I get thrown negatives and I have to deal with it. I've got no choice. I can even rely on me. I've got no one to help me. No mum, no dad, friends, family, no one. Just me. So I can only rely on me. So I deal with everything accordingly, how I think it should be. So I've had no guidance or rules or anything. I've just gone through life and just tried to protect myself all the time.
Nothing's happening for me.
Yeah.
It's never been like that for me. The people around me don't want to get ahead, and you need to be having money or be rich to make, more peas and stuff like that. What would you say?
Simple, man. Start small and grow. Simple question. Just start small and grow. You can just start. You can start from £5, £100. I built a business from £86, into like £10,000 in 3 months, and then it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
What if somebody's like, "I don't know if I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know if I've got them skills."
You see the word entrepreneur. I have this comes up a lot with me. What would you say under entrepreneur is?
Somebody's working for themselves and trying out different businesses.
Okay. For me, an entrepreneur is somebody that takes risks and doesn't want to work a 9 to 5. I'm not saying, by the way, don't work a 9 to 5. I'm saying if you work a 9 to 5, there's a cap and it goes back to the ceiling. This ceiling sticks in my head. Maybe it's because how I grew up. I don't want no limits ever around me again. When you work a 9 to 5 and you get paid a set wage, you're limited to how you do. So you're programmed a certain way. When you're an entrepreneur, you take risks. You have to go and make the money. So you have to think outside the box to do so. And then you grow and then you build your own sort of team and then become your own boss. But you have to grow into that. I see a lot of people saying that they're entrepreneurs and I ask what they're doing. I'm just like, wow, is that what you think an entrepreneur is? But obviously that's the word that everyone's using. So everyone throws it about. But yeah, man, I just think you have to take risks in life, legal ones, and just roll the dice, man. Don't be afraid to believe and dream, But even dreams, you have to work towards a dream. They're not just going to appear because you said, "Oh, I dreamt I got a £5 million house." It's not going to turn up tomorrow. I believe everyone needs a vision. Everyone needs to know what they're doing. I think there's a lot of lost people in the world. They look to Instagram, they're like, "Right, I want that." Okay, cool. How you can get there? Don't know. Well, You can't want that without knowing everything you do in life. There's a structured plan. There's a roadmap. There's a vision board. Yeah. There's every quarter, every 6 months, every year, every 5 years, every 10. Where do you fall in line with that? If you ask them, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You can't look on Instagram and say, I want a G-Wagon. How are you going to get G-Wagon? How many deals do you have to do to get that? Listen, when I was living in a box room in a flat, I always believed I was in a mansion. I always dressed my room a certain way. Always put my shoes in a nice row. I just knew things are going to happen, and you have to
take action though.
Yeah, but vision's a very powerful thing. Even when you're stuck in a situation, you have to visualize and try and manifest where you be in 5 years. If you actually done a toll chart and asked somebody where you gonna be in 5 years, 98% don't know what they want. But that's why you're in a situation where you're in. You have to know what you're doing. But it's never too late. Because some people start seeing things later on in life. They change and then start putting on a roadmap, and then they just blow. But everyone's at different stages.
Is this where your destiny is now, in acting?
Mine is in acting, producing films, businesses that doesn't involve too much movement from yourself. Because I spent my whole life traveling and giving a service. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be able to invest in businesses that I feel that's got growth and there's no refund as well. So part of what I do is taking something from A to B and having a belief in it that it will work. And e-commerce is so powerful right now. And then you've got property obviously as well, which is cool. But you have to do the right deals because some people have been caught out. But again, it comes down to knowledge in your circle. I know people that bought houses, it's gone upside down, and they're in debt, and they just want to, it's the worst thing. But I've got some people that have just got a portfolio that's Dubai, England, Ireland, this place, that place, and they're flying. So it just comes down to your circle, really, and knowledge. But I've always learned outside of school. No one's told me anything. I've learned everything through just myself. I don't even wear my watch. I've got watches, but I don't even wear them. If I'm going out to a wedding or wherever it is, some people might buy a Rolex and and hoping 3 years time it goes up, they make 10 grand. But that's 3 years, 10 grand. Yeah. When you do £10,000 divided by 36 months, really, you can earn more working in McDonald's. It don't make sense. So property's great, land's great. There's a few other things I'm doing that I think is great in terms of longevity and with digital income. And that's what it's about. I believe now trying to make money without moving. So you plant the seed, you do all the work. You have to hit the ground running, do the work. Once you're down, it's like growing a plant. You have to dig, plant it, water it. All of a sudden, what happens?
It starts growing.
It blossoms. Yeah. And that's where it's at. But it's taken time to get there because, again, surroundings, people, your network, ideas, businesses. Like now, I don't discuss people. I don't do anything like that. We discuss businesses, family. Sounds boring, but the most important stuff.
What you gonna gain about talking about next person?
I ain't got time. I don't even leave my house. If you're not talking to me about bread, sorry, translate. If you're not talking to me about a good business deal that I think's valuable to me and my family, or is an asset which ain't gonna make me lose, I'll leave my house. But I'm not just gonna go and sit with a guy in a bar or a club to have a night out for the sake of a night out. I'll go on a night out if we're gonna network. But after my networking's done, I'm now the first person to leave. Whereas before, I'll be the last guy to leave at 5, 6 a.m. I'll probably leave. I'll be at a club max an hour and I'm out.